Glory to Jesus Christ. Glory to the Holy Spirit. The soul rejoices to see our children here. As we say in the wedding service, like young olive trees round about our table. When I give the blessing in the Sete Boja, Lord, look down from the heights of thy holy dwelling place upon this vineyard, which thou hast planted with thine own right hand. And today in the gospel, also we're reminded that God has planted a vineyard with his own right hand. And the evil one wants to pluck out the vineyard by the roots or destroy the vineyard. So many people in our life come up against the vineyard of God, and so many would try to destroy it. But God planted the vineyard with co-suffering love, not just love, co-suffering love, because he came down in the fullness of time. The second gospel today, he came not to condemn the world, not to judge the world, but to give the words of God which would themselves judge the world through our own consciences. Believe me, our conscience is our judge. And yet, God is merciful and tender even to our evil consciences. So he gave his only begotten Son. He came down to us, took on our frail human nature, our co-suffering love with mankind. Not simply love, but co-suffering love with mankind. Love for all of us which encompassed us in his heart. And he was there to suffer all things together with us, not to judge us or condemn us, not to impose a new law upon us, but to give us the freedom to make a free choice for God. Today, hand me the cross. And today, some of you have fasted and some have not. Some of you have fasted and some have not, but St. John Chrysostom says in his great Paschal sermon, those who have fasted and those who have disregarded the fast, come all of you. The table is full laden for you. Those who confess it, those who have not confessed, those who have been long absent from the house of God. I'm going to give you all a blessing, every Orthodox Christian, to receive Holy Communion today. Whether you had confession or did not have confession, whether you're prepared or did not prepare, the feast of faith is set before us. So everyone come with a clear heart and a clean conscience, because you all have that blessing from God to come and receive communion. And what is Holy Confession anyway, except setting the table, preparing as if to come forth to the feast of immortality, to the feast of body and blood of our Lord Jesus Christ. Confession is simply to clean the house and to set the table, to come. And today, when our Lord says that he didn't come to judge or condemn the world, he means also for this vineyard of his. We're not here to condemn the world. We're not here to curse our brothers and sisters, even those who do not believe, even those who are taken in some sin. We're not here to judge or condemn or curse. Jesus Christ did not come to condemn or to curse or to cast out. but to open the door of paradise for all, that we can freely enter of our own free will, of our own free choice. Every year when we begin to have a post, a fast, I ask you, don't fast because it's a law. Don't fast because it's a rule or a regulation. If that's all the fast means, you don't keep it. If you can't fast in the heart for love of Jesus Christ, making the fast a period of struggle for self-control and self-discipline, it's of no value for you to keep the fast. It means nothing. It's written on the wind. And the same with Holy Confession. You come to confess not to be judged or condemned. You come to confess to take a burden off of your souls and to try to help. If the priest is experienced, he can help you find solutions or try to help you find solutions. We're not here to judge or condemn either. We're not here to burden you with some kind of punishments. We're here to open our hearts and listen so that we can imitate the co-suffering love of our Lord Jesus Christ. Over many years you learn as a priest how to take another person's suffering into your own heart, how to realize that sin is suffering. The passions are suffering. They're not evil or malice. They're the suffering that besets mankind through the works of the devil and through our own weaknesses. Today we heard in the gospel how our Lord God planted a vineyard, and he put people to watch over the vineyard. Who is he talking about? Brothers and sisters, he's talking about us, the priests and the bishops. He's talking about us who betray God when we betray the people of God, when we don't show love, compassion, and forgiveness to the people of God. We're the evil men who took over the vineyard while the Savior went away into heaven. Of course, he was talking about the scribes and Pharisees who are leaders of the men, but he was also talking about the priests and the bishops in the church today. We're not here to seize the vineyard and take over as if it belonged to us. We're here to plow, to plant, to water, to nourish, humbly. Humbly because we know our own sins. When we hear confession, we hear our own passions in our ears. We hear our own sins in our ears. But not to neglect Holy Confession, because it's here, it's there that we unburden our souls and that we reaffirm our love for Jesus Christ, our love for God, our desire to please God, to improve our lives, to make our lives better, to unburden ourselves and hope to find some solutions for the torment and the bitterness that often works in our own hearts. So today, remember that you are the vineyard planted by the hand of the living God. You are the vineyard planted by the hand of the living God. And God entrusted this vineyard to us, the bishops and priests. Sometimes we fulfill, sometimes we fail. But we all struggle together that we might come as one family together before the throne of the living God, bearing our children in our arms. And it's so beautiful to see the children lighting their own candles in church. Remember that you're a vineyard planted by the hand of God and that you're there to nourish and to grow and to develop, not to be stagnant, not to stand still, but to grow and to produce fruit. The fruit of the vineyard is love, compassion, mercy, tenderness, forgiveness. The grapes that we harvest in this vineyard have to be not the grapes of wrath, but the grapes of compassion and love. When we eat our meal together, Believe me, it's a part of the worship. It's the vineyard gathering itself together to share, to break their bread in peace, and to learn to love each other even more. So great gratitude that you're here today, that this vineyard is gathered here today as a representative of the whole vineyard of Christ. For the saints, the God-bearers told us that where the people are gathered together with their bishop for the Eucharist, the whole fullness, the whole Catholicity of the church is there, in that place, in that time, at that moment. The whole fullness of the church is here. The whole vineyard is represented here. And the Holy Communion, which every Orthodox Christian everywhere is receiving, unites us in heart and soul and body and makes us of one flesh. Blood brothers, blood sisters, through the blood of our Lord Jesus Christ. So, come receive Holy Communion, but with humility. If you didn't fast, if you didn't prepare, if you didn't have communion, simply have that extra humility to come before the mercy and the compassion of Jesus Christ, who freely gives if we freely receive. So God bless you all.
Thank you.